Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bear Pen for episode 3 of Blood on the Bayou. I'm very excited to have you all join us today as we continue our chronicle in the wonderful city of New Orleans. And before we get started today, this is something that I've been meaning to do at the beginning of every episode, but we live and learn. Vampire the Masquerade is by nature a game that can involve some sensitive topics and a bit of darkness in our lives. So there may be things that come up during each episode which might be difficult for some people to process. However, we have spoken to all of our players and we have made sure that anything that they are uncomfortable exploring will not be explored in this chronicle. So there is a mature content warning on the stream, so just be aware of that. If there is anything that you're feeling uncomfortable with, step away for a moment and take some time. But we won't get too dark, but there will be certain things which we might explore. So today I thought we'd go ahead and get into it and introduce our characters. And this morning, why don't we start with our good boy, Kenny Hartsmith.
Hello, I'm Zach. I will be playing Kenny. I look forward to entering the actual Bayou with all of you this episode.
Excellent. If you have any socials or anything that you'd like to push through, Zach, you're welcome to do so as well.
You can follow me on Twitter at ZHaloMusings.
Excellent. And for those of you that are unaware, on Kira's channel, which is Kira858 here on Twitch, Zach is also the DM of It's Our World, which is our ongoing D&D campaign, and he is just an excellent DM, so make sure to check us out. VODs are also available on YouTube. Next up, why don't we go ahead and introduce our definitely a Toreador, Michaela.
Hey guys, this is Glyza playing Michaela, our definite Toreador, resident Toreador, nothing else but a Toreador. I'm excited to explore the Bayou with everyone involved, hopefully showing you guys what a Toreador really is. Also, you can find me on Classical Adventures 4.1. I do have a podcast where I explore classical books by reading them dramatically as well as discussing them. You can find me on Twitter under @Classical Glyza. I also play a little bit on Twitch every now and then. It's on pause right now just because we recently moved, but if you go to twitch.tv/Classical Glyza, I play indie games, Stardew Valley, all kinds of different, more cutesy games than anything else. So check me out when you can.
Plus, Glyza is just a delight to chat with when you're in chat, and she's very responsive to her chatters, so make sure to check Glyza out. And yeah, as you can tell, Glyza and Michael have just moved, which is hence why there's no camera today, but that's okay. All right, next up on our list is our resident Thin Blood, Mr. Quinn Hamish.
All right, yes, so I'll be playing Quinn Hamish, a thin-blooded vampire who just kind of stumbled into the life by a series of unfortunate events. But vengeance is his name and alchemy is his game. So he's been exploring the world of darkness, as it were, and kind of stumbling around and trying not to die again.
I mean, you can be more dead. This is true in the world of darkness. You can be double dead. Next up on our list is Andre Bissett, possibly soon to be Primogen of Clan Venture in New Orleans.
Indeed. Hi, I'm Alex Hillman, and you can find me on Twitter at Alex Hillman. That's Huilman. It's very German spelling. I am a developer, project manager, community guy for Hunters Entertainment. You can find my work in books like Outbreak Undead 2nd Edition. And additionally, you can also find me over on that Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Hunters Entertainment, on our Tuesday show for Outbreak Undead Rag and Bone, where I play 10-4, who's kind of head of a community of Rag and Bone in the world 25 years on into the apocalypse. Here, however, I play Andre Bassett, who is completely an above-board Ventrue, who is going to be a perfectly fine Primogen, and no one should worry anything about it. We're about to engage on some interesting stuff in the Bayou, as Zach pointed out, trying to, in part, to help secure my my claim to Primogency. So we'll see how that goes.
Indeed, we shall see how that goes. And next up is our wonderful Sweet Bean, Sora.
Hi, I am Kira858. Today I'm playing definitely the sweetest of being high fructose corn syrup, Sora, who is a quote unquote caitiff. I myself have my own Twitch channel under Kira858. Where we have a couple of TTRPG streams. A couple of individuals here, including Adrian and Zach, are part of those streams. We have Riverwood Academy that comes in every Tuesday. Well, actually, this Tuesday we'll be having a Die Hard Dice giveaway for the Amethyst Mythical Dice set, which is a $50 value. So we're looking forward to giving that away. We'll probably be doing that once a month, so I'm definitely excited about that. And of course, we also have our campaign on Saturdays, as Zach and Adrian mentioned, which is our It's Our World campaign, where Zach is the DM. You can also see me there doing artwork, because I own my own comic book company, and a couple other things. And also, I'm on Twitter for Kira619858, where I pretty much just talk about different things, retweet all of the content out there, and try to give support to the individuals in the community. So great to see you all. I'm super looking forward to this as we go all into the swamp. This is the closest I'm ever going to get to a swamp, by the way. I'll just leave that out there.
I, however, would love to visit a swamp. All right. I would like to just give a few special thank yous to a few people, and one of them should be in chat, and two of them are actually here right now. So Kira and Alex, I just want to thank you so much again for all the amazing tech help you give me and suggestions you give me all the time, which is so very, very helpful. Who knew studio mode was a thing? That's great. And the other person that I want to give a huge thank you to is my friend Dominic Donahue. He is an amazingly talented artist, and soon we should be seeing some work from him coming up on the channel, where we will be doing an audio book, which you will be able to watch Dominic do some wonderful drawings to, so you can either listen to the story being told or watch the sketch happening. This will be pre-recorded content. We don't have a release date for it yet, so it is going to come out in bits and pieces, but it'll be something really nice for you guys to do. For any of you that will be watching this on YouTube when it comes out, thank you so much for your likes and your comments and your subscriptions. The closer we get to that 100 subscribers mark, the closer we get to that fantastic custom URL. And you can also catch our D&D show on Tuesdays in Taiwan time. It will be 7 p.m. I'm not entirely sure what time that is there in the States, but it's somewhere around like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning or something. But don't worry, because it'll be up on VOD, and it will also be up on YouTube as well, where you can watch that as well. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and...
A little further ado.
Oh yes,
we forgot someone.
we did.
We did.
Who did we forget, Alex?
Cassidy, you should go ahead and introduce
Forgot
yourself
me.
and your character.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. You see, what I was doing was I was trying to go up and around like this, but then instead I made a circle like that and didn't get to Cassidy. I'm so sorry, Cassidy. Oh damn. My apologies. Cassidy, our wonderful Sakura. Please introduce yourself.
Read the Zoom chat. Anyway, I'm Cassidy. I'm playing Sakura. You can find me on Twitter at awkwardcassidy_. And Sakura is not too thrilled to have to go into the Bayou today. She does not want to get wet. Her makeup takes a long time, which it is too hot for me to do today, but I'm still Sakura.
Indeed, Cassidy is still Sakura, and Cassidy is also a bit of an artist herself, and she has done some lovely things for me in the past. And actually, in our intro, you can actually see she helped us out with some of the writing and such, which is really, really helpful. So the intro would not exist without Cassidy's help either. Yeah. So now, without further ado, let's go ahead and transition to our intro. Welcome back, everybody. For anyone that is interested in checking out more music, like what you heard in our intro there, you can actually head onto soundcloud.com and look up Super Simple Side Dish. They have a whole bunch of really awesome tunes there. But let's dive in. The young woman was taciturn and withdrawn the whole night. She had sequestered herself in her bedroom and locked the door. Repeated attempts to try and contact her and get her to come out were to no avail. It was by sheer coincidence that someone looked into her bedroom window and saw her unresponsive on the bed. A short time later, the door was broken open and she was pronounced dead. The official news reports stated that it was a barbiturate overdose. However, there was another day. It is only one night after the events that took place in our last episode. All of you had made arrangements with Carlisle, the ratkin, who had been provided as a guide by Peaches, the primogen of Clan Nosferatu, to lead you into the Bayou, as Carlisle is a very resourceful individual and has managed to locate the Baron's current whereabouts. The Baron being the Baron of much of the Bayou lands and anarch in nature, and he is simply only known as the Baron. It is now the following evening, and you all awaken from your night slumber. Would everyone go ahead and make their rouse checks for me, please?
Oh, okay. All right.
Success.
I'll be taking a quick visit out to something close by to get some num nums.
I have made a success on my rouse check.
Successful rouse check on mine.
Hungry wakes up a bit hungrier.
Mm-hmm.
I got a failure. I'll let you know in a few moments which of member of the party I'll be attacking.
Fair enough. Sora,
No.
Or hunger 2. Maybe I don't with only hunger 2, but you know.
Yeah, I'm at hunger too, but I always keep it as low as possible. But
Sora, as you are beginning to rouse from your slumber, I would like you to make a wits and awareness roll for me, please.
oh, okay. With so no height. Would I need to use height? No, probably not.
As you are just waking up, I would not say that you probably would have heightened senses active.
What if I never sleep?
I wish that was option. 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes. Excellent. So, what starts as a barely audible whisper in your ear, you struggle to make out the words, but you spend a bit of time focusing and you hear, "She won't let me sleep. She never lets me sleep." Your pup in the bedroom is whining and growling, and you are awake.
So a paranoid boy is going to paranoid. He's going to look around all over the place. Can he see anything? Something outside the window? Does the voice sound familiar? I mean, he's just looking around like, what? Who is that? What? It's not the ghost lady, right? I'm pretty sure the ghost lady.
You have not heard this voice before, but you do notice that even with your kindred physiology, that the room is definitely colder than it usually is.
I'm gonna say, I can't see you. Is anyone there? Hello.
Make a dex and athletics roll for me, please.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, fortunately, I have literally this for dodging, right?
Mm-hmm.
I literally have a specialty in dodging as Quinn, because I'm not trying to take any hits. So give me 1 second.
He's excellent at dodging wrenches.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm trying to avoid as much combat as possible. Ooh, okay, that's a crit. That's 4, 5, 6 successes with a crit.
You lightning fast jump out of your bed as a couple of your art supplies come whizzing towards your head and splash against the wall. A canister, well, a glass jar that you had, which still had a bit of the paint thinners in, and a paintbrush has smashed against the bedpost or the wall behind you, and all of you that are close enough to Sora's room hear the shattering of glass.
I'll go see what's up.
he just kind of like runs towards the door. He's like, I think the ghost is just mad at me for some reason. I was kind of curious, but she threw my art supplies.
Hence the unseen.
Sense the unseen. All right. So, Sakura, you see that there is no trace of your house companion right now. However, on the wall, you see, scratched into the wall above Sora's bed, there are the words, "She won't let me sleep." And then they slowly start to fade away.
I'm gonna run around the house looking for our house ghost.
All right, you run around the house looking for your house ghost. Make a, let's say, I need to remember if investigation is still a thing in V5. It is. Make a wits and investigation roll for me. See if you can locate her this
I'm
evening.
gonna rouse.
Cool.
I'm gonna rouse for that because it's not high. I succeed.
The rest of you do hear Cassidy's footsteps frantically running through the coterie haven.
3.
Oh, sorry, I said Cassidy. Sakura.
yeah,
3.
We're good. As Sakura goes around going, ghosty, ghosty, ghosty.
You look all around the house and you eventually make your way to the attic. And you come inside and you see that your ghost friend is sat in a corner and she has her hands around her knees and she is rocking back and forward ever so slightly.
I'll go sit in front of her and just, hey, you good, ghosty?
She does not respond to you.
That's odd, right? Like, she usually responds.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Does it look like, I know she's a ghost, but like, does she have paint on her or something?
She doesn't have paint on her. Go ahead and make, let's say you can make this, we'll go for wits and investigation again, but you can add your Auspex dice. 2. It's ever so faint. You can tell her black hair seems to be, I mean, this is what you have come to, expect from her visage. Her long black hair still looks to be dirty and unkempt and such, but you can tell ever so slightly something that you haven't noticed before. Just on her forehead, there appears to be a little mark, which is, it seems to have been scratched in by some kind of implement, but it's the faint traces of a very old scar, and you can make out the words "Unclean."
And is that new, or is it just not been noticed before?
You just haven't noticed it before.
Okay.
You've never really had this opportunity to look. Usually she is on the ceiling or making threatening gestures, or none of you really ever get that close to her.
I usually just chat at her from a distance, telling her good job. So I just look at it because I don't think I have anything that really would help right now. I guess I'll just go back downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just go back to Sora's room for now.
All right. How are the rest of the coterie mates reacting to the noise that has been permeating the house this early in the evening.
I think when we left off last time I was here, I went back to my own place, so I don't know if I had reason yet to come back to the Coterie Haven.
Not quite yet, no. You would still be at your own haven. I believe our venture is also at his own haven this evening, correct? Yes.
Correct, yeah. Specifically of the various havens that he maintains, he's probably at the lab.
All right.
Not sure where I am. Since the last time we played, I don't think I was present.
You will be in your bedroom in the Coterie Haven.
Okay, so I do have my own haven, like my own separate thing after some time. So I'm at the coterie then. So I've heard everything.
You have.
Okay, can I do a sense the unseen as well, since I'm here? Just because I've heard all the noise.
You can. And activating your sense the unseen, there are... Roll it for me.
Okay.
Roll your wits and awareness and add your Auspex dice for me.
Okay. Just count how many that's in. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes. All right, 4 successes. You activate your sense the unseen, and what you pick up is something that you haven't really noticed before. It lingers for a moment, but it seems to be an after image in your own bedroom. It looks to be some kind of resonance. You notice that it's almost like a ghostly image is overlaid over where your own bed now is, where the own walls is. You see that the style of the bed is different, and that it seems to be more of a four-poster bed, and that the floor has an old rug on it, and there appears to be an old-looking ghostly vanity in the bedroom as well. And you notice that sitting on the bed is the after image of a woman who appears to have her hair tied up in a bun, and she is wearing a very sort of very conservative long dress, and she is busy. You can see that her lips are moving, and she seems to be playing with some rosary beads. You would judge that she is probably saying a prayer. The image doesn't last very long, and then it fades.
Okay. I step out of my bedroom and try to basically find
Sakura.
Sakura. Try to find Sakura to make sure Sakura and Sora, just to figure out what's going on and tell them what I see. Would I know where Sora is at the moment? Are they separated? Are they together? Just because I understand that Sakura went up to the attic and Sora sort of just jumped around.
Sora is usually in his bedroom, so it would be easy enough to find him.
I will go to Sora
Yes.
first and be like, Sora, what's going on? I heard a loud noise and I saw somebody like this after effect in my bedroom. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Sakura is also in Sora's room at this point.
I see.
He'll point towards the shattered glass of his art supply. She broke my art supply.
Who broke your art supplies?
The ghost.
I don't think it was our ghost.
Not our ghost. Our ghost is just annoying. I don't think you would.
That's a different story, but she's upstairs. She doesn't look too well. But
Yeah.
she's dead, but that's not. She looks less well than usual.
Less.
Not less
scared.
dead, because she's still dead.
I mean, she's still dead. Less
like she wants to scare everyone, and more like she wants to be left alone.
Right. Maybe this time she was the one that was scared, kind of thing. Did Elijah do anything to her? Where is Elijah?
Probably yelled at her. But...
Elijah has already left the Coterie Haven for this evening.
Probably scared her on the way out.
She doesn't usually let him get to her. She's usually just pretty like, ooh.
Wait,
She wasn't very like, ooh today.
So wait, did you say there's another ghost here?
Currently,
This
or
house
like
is haunted.
5 minutes ago? Because like I think 5 minutes ago, yeah, but I'm not seeing it now.
She
I
said
did
they
see-
won't let me sleep.
I did see somebody praying on my bed. I don't know if it was a ghost.
Where's the dog?
The dog?
Sora's pup, forgive me, I forget his name at the moment, or her name?
I heard it. I think I had it as Ragatha, I think it was.
Ragtha. Ragtha is in the room, and she has not stopped really, growling a little bit, and you can see that her hackles are up just a little bit.
And if I look at where she's growling, I don't see anything.
With your Cynthia scene up, not at the moment. It seems that she is still just in a state of unhappiness or apprehension.
Sora, can you ask her what happened?
Oh yeah, sure. And he'll bend down to Ragatha, like, that was scary. Do you know what happened, where she went?
Remind me, Sora, is that an ability that you have to activate to speak to animals, or?
So Pharaoh Whispers, I actually just got it on my character sheet from the last level up.
Okay.
That's free for my bond familiars. With other creatures, then I have to use a check to talk.
Excellent. All right. So, would you restate the question for me, please?
Do you know where? What happened? Where the ghost went?
It was strange. She came in here, she was angry, she threw things around, and she was scratching on the walls. I don't know, she's not usually like that. She's just kind of just hovers around or tries to scare people, but she was really angry this time, and then she just disappeared up into the ceiling. I don't know what's going on, but everything felt really bad for a while. It doesn't feel so bad anymore. It's just one of those, but I don't like it.
Me neither. Why she had to throw my art supplies? I mean, like, she could have threw anything, not the art supplies. But it's the same one, right?
It was her, but I don't know. Everything just felt really different for a while. I didn't like it.
Right. So once when he kind of nods, kind of like puts his forehead against her for a second before turning toward the others, it says, "No, Ragatha said it was the same one, but she just seems really different. Like it felt very bad in here for a while. Like Ragatha felt like maybe something changed for a certain period of time."
Can a ghost get possessed?
I was about to say that. I was like,
A possessed by a possession.
Sure, you can make a check. You can roll an intelligence and occult roll if you'd like.
all right, well, I'm not too bad at that.
Can I make that as well?
Yes, of course. Kenny, where are you currently?
Actually, I'm gonna
Well,
browse that
as
one
of
just
now, I
because
don't
it's,
think anyone's let me know what's going on, so I think he would just be in his room.
All right, cool.
Called Possession
Wait.
Inception.
Are you here? Wait, so who's actually all here in the in?
Sakura and Michaela are in the room with you, Sora.
But wait, is Kenny actually in the place at our place, or is Kenny?
I believe
Oh,
Kenny
okay.
stayed at the Code Rehab. Yeah.
Oh.
He's in his room.
Okay, we thought you were out with
Yeah.
wait, quiz what you call. Okay, go ahead.
2 successes, but she'd probably go get Kenny because she thinks he knows about ghosts.
About ghosts, yeah.
Two
She'd probably go
successes.
knock on his door. Kenny!
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna use willpower to reroll that. 'Cause that was horrible.
Can I make a roll as
much
well
better.
if I know anything just because I have literature academics roll? I don't know.
Of course, yes. You can add your specialty for that because you might have read something about it. You can roll your if you want to. You can make it intelligence and academics instead.
Sweet.
Kenny
3
will
successes for me.
enter the door for Sakura. You can resolve people's roles. It's just he'll go to the door
Yeah.
when we're ready.
All right. With 2 successes and 3 successes, I
got
would
4
say,
as well.
and 4
Sorry.
successes. All right. With 2 successes and 3 successes, I would say that it's unclear. You've never really heard of anything like that happening before. I would say with Michaela, with your 4 successes, you've definitely heard of ghosts being able to possess people before. You have heard of ghosts being able to be controlled before as well. This is things that you would know. You've not really heard anything about ghosts being possessed, but being controlled, yes.
I don't think she was possessed. Maybe she was controlled, but not really possessed. Maybe that's why she's upset because she didn't have the freedom to do what she wanted to do, which is try and scare us. But then it's kind of funny that when she didn't have the control, she actually did scare us. So
Yeah, that makes sense because she said they won't let me sleep. So somebody is not allowing her to sleep. But who would do that?
should we ask
Hey.
her again?
Well, I'm presuming around this time for it. Well, let's go talk to Kenny. Maybe Kenny could talk to ghosts. Yeah, Kenny. Yeah.
So we all
Sakura is in the process of attempting to
Yeah.
drag him.
so we're all probably
Just Kenny, we need help with ghosts.
following him out.
He enters the door.
Kenny, we need help with ghosts.
I don't want to.
But we need your help.
I hate that feeling.
Which feeling?
You know this.
Of
Ghost
ghosts?
You know the
feelings?
feeling.
Oh, you're hungry.
No.
Then I don't know what you're talking about.
And because he's getting angry, his eyes slowly coat over.
I'm just gonna go.
And then he blinks. I hate that feeling.
Guys,
Okay.
Kenny's being weird.
Okay, Kenny, you should.
I don't
Bye.
like using the oblivion to talk to ghosts, and he slams the door in their face.
Cool.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Good.
Hey, well, I guess we have to ask her. Well, I don't see her, so you have to talk to her, I guess. I'll
Okay,
be with
1
you,
second.
but far away with you. Like in spirit with you, but more like 30, 40 feet with you.
Andre and Quinn. We'll come back to the ghosts for this point in just a moment. Andre and Quinn, You do know that you are due to meet Carlisle at some time this evening, and he's supposed to show up to your haven. What is Quinn doing before he goes to the haven this evening? You might be muted, Quinn.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to. Yeah. Well, at my place, I'm just doing my normal thing, which is in my free time, I tend to experiment with blood that I can get my hands on and different concoctions. But I've probably gotten a call by this point about coming back to the Coterie Haven, I would imagine. Although,
All right.
I'm not sure if anybody is. It doesn't seem like there's too much of an emergency going on over there, but that's all out of character knowledge. So, be like, my spidey sense is tingling.
I imagine your adopted sire would have instructed you to be as early as possible for the meeting, so that when Carlisle arrives, you're not late.
Yeah,
all right.
That would make sense. Otherwise, I might get a spanking. So, should probably.
Indeed.
He'll probably wind up making his way over there early rather than late. He likes to be punctual.
Excellent. And how about Andre this evening? What is he doing before he hits the Coterie Haven?
I imagine that he is spending a few hours, well, not hours at this point, probably about an hour, though, getting himself generally together and running through a few of the documents that he has stored away in the lab. Just kind of parsing over and mulling over those for a while before finally putting the documents away again into a locked cabinet, and then
Excellent.
heading directly for the actual Coterie Haven. Even though he is a little bit hungrier this evening, he's not terribly hungry. He's where most other kindred that he associates with sit on a regular basis, so not taking the time for a meal.
Excellent. Andre, before you leave the lab for this evening, on your way out, you see that there is a rather tall man with a shaved side of the head and long black hair that is sort of swept to one side, that is leaning against one of the walls, waiting for you to exit. You know this man. You saw him at the Night of Elysium. This is the new sheriff, Gerard Baxter.
Good evening, Sheriff. What might I do for you?
Monsieur Andre, I thought I would check up on any of your efforts to help our prince with her dilemma.
Ah, splendid. Yes, we are engaging in an endeavor and excursion tonight. It is our hope that we will be able to finally put a pin in this matter this evening.
Very good.
It took a little negotiation for us to acquire someone that has the skills necessary to find what we're looking for.
Indeed. It can be difficult sometimes to find the right people for the job. Tell me, Monsieur Bissett, how long have you been in New Orleans?
I have not been in the city long in comparison to some others, but long enough to realize some significant change is in order around here.
I would say that is an understatement, but I won't take up too much of your time, Monsieur Bissett. Make a wits and insight roll for me, please, Andre.
Absolutely. Two successes.
2 successes. He's doing his job and checking out that everything is going well. He nods his head to you and he takes his leave.
Anytime.
Alright, so you will make your way to the Coterie Haven. Back to our ghostly apparitions. Sakura and
Sakura
Michaela.
will say, 1 sec. And she'll go get a pink Ouija board from her room. She doesn't quite know what else to do. And then she will find Ricky real quick.
Mm-hmm. Ricky is in his
Hey,
room.
Ricky, do you know? I just opened the door. Ricky, do you know anything about ghosts?
Don't think so. I mean, I know the lady in the house is around sometimes. Don't think I really know anything about ghosts though. Why?
Just trying to figure something out. Thank you. And then she'll go back to the rest.
Okay. All right. So
She'll come back to the rest with her Ouija board.
What is that?
Kenny doesn't want to help, and I don't know how to talk to ghosts, so we're gonna try this.
Sweet.
Okay. Well, I will be with you in spirit.
No, Sora,
if-
you will be with us in person. Let's go.
Yep. We only need one spirit in the room, so come on.
Oh,
So we
boy.
drag Sora.
Yep. The two of us
Ragatha!
combined.
And it asks for Ragatha to go with her as he makes his way down the stairs.
are you?
I can't even see her.
Where are you headed? To the
The
attic.
ghost in the attic.
Ah, to the attic. Okay. Okay. Very good. You head
Sakura will go in
upstairs.
first.
Excellent. You head upstairs to the attic, and Michaela and Sakura, your sense the unseen is still active. So you do see your ghostly friend that is in the corner of the room, and she is sort of just hugging her knees and rocking back and forth.
I'll just quietly approach and just set it down and say, I'm not quite sure how to talk to you, so we're going to try this because we want to help.
Mm,
And then back away a little.
okay. Make a charisma and persuasion roll for me, please. If you have the looks merit, I guess this applies, although you're speaking to a ghost, but, rules is written, it applies.
You said charisma and what?
Charisma and persuasion.
Oh.
As well as looks and beauty.
That's probably our best roll.
I imagine it is. I
need more dice.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, if the Toreador doesn't have those them dice for that roll,
Something's wrong.
yeah. Isn't that right, Michaela?
Michaela,
Toreador
yeah,
should
Michaela.
definitely
Yeah,
have-
Toreador has
Yeah.
all of that, you know.
Yeah.
Complete set of roles in that area.
Exactly.
As a Toreador, I would know exactly what that looks like.
Exactly.
5 on 10 dice. Actually, it's 12 dice.
All right. So you see that the what's the word for that thing? I want to call it a planchette. Is it a planchette? The small piece
Yes,
that moves. A
uh,
planchette, right?
Yeah, it's the planchette.
Yeah, the planchette moves in a series of successions, and it spells out the words that Sora had heard her say before the sentence over and over again. She won't let me sleep. She won't let me sleep. She won't let me sleep. And it just repeats and gets faster and faster and faster. And eventually the Ouija board is flung a little bit across the room.
Well, that's not very helpful. Who won't let you sleep?
Sora's going to try to. Yep, that's exactly what I was going to do. I can't see the figure, but I'm going to grab the Ouija board and pretty much put it at the same spot. It says, "Well, maybe we could get it to stop if you can you just tell us who, please, pretty please, and no more throwing stuff. Thank you. Please come again."
All right. So it takes a little bit of time, but the planchette does start moving again, and it spells out the word mother.
Is your mom here?
The planchette moves to the section of the Ouija board that has the word no in it, on it.
And ghosts have nightmares?
No, we have to find out who this mother is.
Is your mother like you? Like dead you?
The planchette moves to yes.
Is she here like you're here?
The planchette moves back and forward to yes, 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 yes. And then it starts moving to another series of letters very quickly again, which spell out unclean, 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 unclean.
Who's unclean?
I will point out the mark on her head.
You're not clean. I can't see you, but I think you're pretty nice. Well, you don't throw my art supplies, but I mean, besides that, you're not unclean.
Thank you.
So, I'll have
She saved you from a wrench.
we'll come back to the attic in just a moment. Quinn
The
and
ghost whisperer.
Before you move on, I want to make a note really quick.
yes,
Would you say that it's likely that they were being loud as they were moving over into the attic?
oh,
That's
incredibly.
because I'm pretty sure they were. Okay. He's currently at the bottom of the ladder listening in.
Very good.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I just want to make sure we know that.
Kenny, I want you to make a resolve and composure roll for me, please.
Okay, that's not bad. Oh no. 2 successes.
2 successes. You are listening to the conversation, and unbidden, your eyes begin to cloud over in complete darkness. Black. You are feeling incredibly uncomfortable. But what you are seeing is in the hallway, close to where the ladder is from the attic. There looks to be what you can best describe as a organic looking tear or fold in the air in front of you, and it appears to be, from your perspective, it looks as if it draws in the light.
That sounds like a fun thing to discuss when we come back to the attic.
Indeed. Yes. So Quinn and Andre, you arrive at the Haven through the magic of editing at roughly the same time.
Do I hear any noises or anything crazy going on when I arrive, or is it just kind of quiet?
They are upstairs, so you wouldn't hear anything too crazy. But when you do arrive and you do come in, Ricky is downstairs and he is in one of the living rooms, and he is just sort of like on his stomach on the ground, and he has a little sketchbook which Sora gave him, and a little set of crayons, and he's busy drawing. And he looks up. Hey, Mr. Quinn. Hey, Mr. Andre. And he's kicking his legs back and forth. I'm okay. Miss Sakura says something about the ghosts earlier. I don't know. There was like a loud noise. But I don't know. I don't know anything about ghosts. And he holds up his picture to you. What do you think of this? And it is, you know, what a 6-year-old might be expected to draw, but it's actually a little bit of better quality than you would expect, because Sora's been giving him some lessons during this time. So it seems to be a picture of Ricky and Sakura that are outside at an ice cream parlor.
Oh.
It's like you're
Well, Dad just looks adorable, Ricky. You are going to be a Picasso in no time.
Thank you. I think they're upstairs.
All right, I was wondering why it's so quiet down here, but I guess everybody's being lazy again, sleeping in late. Let's go find out what's going on, Andre.
Okay.
And how are you this evening, Mr. Hamish?
I'm doing fine. I got a text about some sort of meeting, so I figured it was probably a good time as any to get over there. My experiments weren't really turning up much tonight. It's been kind of a slow evening, so.
We should discuss your experiments sometime. I'd be very interested in those.
Excellent.
As we head up the stairs, and I
Yeah.
assume find Kenny at the bottom of the ladder
He's
of
on-
the attic.
He's on his way to the kitchen, actually, so you'll probably pass by him, muttering to himself, "Salt, rosemary, frankincense, thyme. Salt, rosemary, frankincense, thyme."
You see that Kenny's eyes are completely black.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Salt, rosemary, frankincense, thyme.
It
Salt,
should be
rosemary,
fine.
frankincense, thyme. Salt, rosemary,
With
frankincense, thyme.
what our little friend said downstairs, I'm not necessarily surprised by this.
Well, you'd probably know better than me, so.
Again,
So,
one
let
of
him
the
sleep it
many
off.
things we'll need to discuss.
Well, I'm here to learn. I am a scientist after all.
I'm going to start making my way up into the attic.
All right. Is Quinn staying in the kitchen with Kenny?
No, that does not seem prudent right now. He's a little. He's looking at. I don't know about this. I think I'll let him sleep it off or whatever's going on with him right now.
Kenny, are you
He's gonna
physically looking for these ingredients?
Yeah, he's looking for salt, frankincense, rosemary, and thyme, and he's going to make a salt circle around the tear, and then layer the herbs in around it.
Very good. You successfully do so when you go back upstairs, and it does. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll your. I'm going to make this resolve an occult, and add your dice for oblivion.
Is this an active check that I could surge on?
Yes.
I'm going to do so. Okay, that's pretty typical for the situation. My hunger increases.
Okay.
Spend the willpower. Um, 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. You begin to spread the herbs and the salt in a circle around the tear. And this is not really things that you deal with often. You purposefully don't want to deal with this kind of stuff, but you have a general understanding of what you can do. Tendrils of darkness begin to exude from you, leaking out of your eyes and towards the tear that is in space in front of you. Eventually, the tear starts to pulse a little bit and push back, but you push through and you see that it slowly begins to close itself. As Andre and Quinn make their way into the attic, the 3 that are assembled in front of your ghostly friend witness as her face looks up and her shoulders relax, and then she fades from view downstairs.
I will look back to see what happened and be confused as to why that presence made that happen.
I too
Wait,
am
what?
speechless because I don't understand what happened. I just look.
I
and-
can't see it, so
I
I was
just
just looking
look
at it.
at-
It's like,
I just look at Sakura. I'm like, what the?
I am not sure. It almost looked like Andre and Quinn calmed down the ghost.
They didn't do anything, did they?
I know, but like they came up and she went down.
maybe they have something that she wants.
Andre and Quinn, neither of you possess any form of supernatural sight, correct?
Not at all.
No, I do not.
All right.
I guess, should we go downstairs? You go first, I'll follow. I promise.
Kenny,
Michaela drags Sora down, just like, let's.
I said I
go.
promise. I wouldn't lie. Okay, let's go.
Kenny, after you complete whatever it is you just did, you feel the oblivion leave you. Eyes have returned to their normal state. What are you experiencing right now?
Sora and Michaela would probably walk down to see him drop to his knees with his head bowed and his hands over his face like this. In the edge of a salt circle with herbs mixed into it.
Are you?
okay?
Okay.
What she said?
No, but I suppose I will be.
A drink or something. I can get it for you.
I don't drink and I don't smoke. I suppose I probably just need time. But we do have places to be this evening as well.
Well, whatever you did, it looks like it helped. Is that salt? He just like looks at the ground. He's like, this doesn't look like cocaine. So I'm going to guess that this is salt.
He says, and rosemary and thyme.
Is there a little bit of parsley in there as well and some sage?
Yep.
So this is what we need to calm her down. I'll be right back. I'll get a jar. And he's gonna go grab a jar and see he just like scoops scoop the materials up into like a nice what was those old jar? Like it wasn't Martian. It begins with an M.
The
It's
mason jars.
Mason jar. A mason jar.
Yeah, there you go. Mason
Mason?
jar. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And he'll scoop some of those into a mason jar and they kind of like wrap it up. He's like, okay. Well, thank you. You helped out a lot. She seemed a lot calmer after you did this.
No problem, Sora.
Very good.
Sakura will make sure the Ouija board is still there with a notebook and just like leave it in case she comes back and wants to talk,
Okay.
and then follow down after a minute.
Very good.
Yeah, it just
Andre
falls
will
down.
stop by Kenny as he comes down and offer him a hand to bring him up to his feet and simply say, I've witnessed that before, and I know it's never fun when the darkness stares back.
No. No, it isn't. I'm sorry, Mr. Andre. I need to go retrieve my cello as we have places to be this evening.
Very good. And Andre will go ahead and head downstairs.
Excellent.
Do you need me to call your sponsor or something? Looks like you were having a bit of a relapse. I thought I heard you talking about having a drinking problem.
Are you talking to Kenny?
Yeah.
No, Mr. Quinn, I do not drink.
All right. I guess it's just gonna be a fun night full of surprises.
As far as my sponsor goes, I have not heard from her in quite some time.
Well, hopefully that's a good thing.
I suppose. I hope so too. And he goes to get the cello that is the concealment for a 50 caliber or sniper rifle in his room.
Excellent. And that seems like a really good place to take our break here. I am very grateful for everyone who is in chat right now and for everyone who is viewing this. So thank you so much for tuning into Blood on the Bayou episode 3. We're going to take our break at for about 10 to 15 minutes. So make sure to stretch, get some water, go to the bathroom, whatever you need to do. If you need to take any meds, do so as well. Have a good time. We'll see you shortly after the break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good break, and we are ready to continue with Blood on the Bayou, episode 3, where we had just left off. Our coterie mates had spent some time chatting with their house ghost, and certain things ensued. Eventually, all of you do make your way downstairs to some point. Kenny, before you leave your room, you get a message on your trusty Nokia.
I check it.
It is from your Mola, Mr. Aaron Carter.
Okay.
It reads, an associate of Jezebel's is in town, and they are requesting to meet you. They were asking if it would be acceptable to come to your coterie haven, and when that might be. If you remember, Jezebel is the Tremere that is often associated with Annette Dubois.
Right. Just so I make sure that Kenny's timeline and mine match. At the moment, we're like within hours of needing to go meet up with our contact for this trip,
Yes.
which will take at least a day there and a day back, right?
Potentially. Carlisle had told you that it will take around 2 hours of travel to reach the location in the bayou that the Baron is said to be holed up in. And he said that, well, you never know what might happen, so just make sure you bring some sunbags.
Okay. So he would text back, and I would think that he's pretty fast at T9 actually, since he's dexterity 4. With a little bit of celerity, he texts back, will they be in town in 2 nights? Question mark.
You get a response back. They are already in town, and they will still be here. Miss Jezebel was reluctant to give too many details. However, she has gone through the appropriate channels, so apparently this is something that is important.
He texts back, got a project the next 2 nights, but that one is hers.
You get a response. Excellent. I will tell Jezebel in around 3 nights they can make their way to your haven.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The player was thinking through, like, they're aware that it's the coterie haven and asking to meet there. So in my brain, that means they're like fine if other people are in the home, even if we need to have a private conversation. So I was thinking the wheels were turning on that, but I think he'll leave it there.
Okay. Very good. It is roughly an hour and a half later where you all hear a knock on the door. And the bell also goes ding dong.
Go get it with Sense the Unseen up because now I have to every time I open the door.
You see a familiar hooded figure that is, with your Sense the Unseen, rooming with an interesting kind of energy. And they have their hands sort of clasped together. The hood is covering their face, and nods his head. Yes, Miss Sakura. Can I come in?
Come on in.
Very good, yes. And Carlisle comes in. Once the door is closed, you see that the illusory disguise is off, and you can see his rat-like features and his rat tail that are prominent. He comes into the living room where I imagine you are all gathered. Are we ready to proceed to the location? I think
Kenny
you
nods,
might be
holding a big
muted.
Quivering
Holding a
with
big old cello
anticipation.
case.
Okay. Sorry, Andre, what did you say?
Quivering with anticipation.
Very good. Well,
To go on my end.
Let's party.
good, good.
Sakura's got her backpack on, filled with a bunch of random stuff.
Very good. I have arranged a bit of transportation for us to the jetty where we will be taking the airboat.
Splendid. Lead the way.
All right. So before you leave the Coterie Haven, what all is everyone prepared to take with them this evening?
So
Sakura has
Sora-
on like a. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Sora's gonna bring a backpack full of drawing equipment, sketchbook, pencils and pens. Doesn't really need food. Of course, he's bringing Ragatha with him because there's no way he's going in danger while at least having some type of close protection around him, especially with Sakura, and Michaela. Definitely, like to throw him out into the front, into the scene of things. He needs that bodyguard. So yeah, I think
I
that's
was
pretty
about
much
to
it.
say, unless those pencils can hit really sharply, you definitely need protection, Zora.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much. So yeah, pretty much the only thing he has is his guard dog. But yeah, pretty much it. That's all he got is his sketchbook, pencils, and his precious guard dog with him.
Michaela just has a normal pistol that she always carries.
Kenny has a 9mm concealed in his jeans and a sniper rifle in his cello case.
Is that a gun in your pocket?
This
I don't
is
say that out loud. I just think it.
okay.
Sakura has a cute little sundress with like a clear raincoat. And in her backpack is just a bunch of like she has the sun bags, but she also has just random things like her waterproof phone case, and just things that might come in handy.
Very good. And Andre and Quinn, do you have anything special prepared for this evening?
Nothing special.
Yeah, no, I'm not really. I'm at the moment. I'm just kind of here to absorb.
Excellent. Carlisle once again puts on his disguise and leads you outside where you see that there is a van waiting. It seems to be pretty beat up. You know, it is just kind of like a steel gray. There are spots of rust and everything, but he opens up the side door and gets in and says, it won't take us too long to drive to the jetty. I have a man that has the boat ready for us.
Andre will just quietly file into the back of the van and take a seat.
Excellent. All right. You all begin to make your way in the van towards more of the, I would say the easterly side of New Orleans, where you have the quite a couple of docks and different jetties and such, where people can take river tours, you know, go on tours of the Bayou. They can go up the Mississippi, and there are various dining establishments and such as well. But
I would like to say, I would like to say that I definitely get a window seat, so therefore Ragatha can put his put her head out the window because we normally don't go inside cars. So I know she's going to enjoy that. You know, that classic dog tongue licking out when the wind blows by. I was like, okay, I'm going to give her at least that opportunity since we have to leave the room this time, even though he doesn't want to.
Ragatha is very happy with the situation.
Oh yeah, dogs love it. Dogs love it. He hates it, but dogs love it.
It takes you around about half an hour to drive out to the jetty that is quite a small one. You know, it is in sort of like off the beaten track kind of thing, but you can see that there is a small house that is erected there, or it's you know, it says Adam's Riverboat and Bayou Tours, and he pulls up on the side into this sort of driveway, and you can tell that this place doesn't see many customers. It's kind of run down. It's you know, very old looking. It looks as if, you know, it's the kind of thing that just miraculously barely survived when Katrina came through. It is you know, pretty run down, but you can see that on one of the jetty piers there is a riverboat that seems quite serviceable. It is one of the airboats with the fans on the side there, and Carlisle says, Adam has said that if we don't get the boat back intact, he will be very unhappy with us. So let's try and stay alive and in the boat.
Andre will go ahead and reach into his vest pocket and pull out a money clip with a little wad of money in it and just leaf off a couple $100 bills and toss them down. This should adequately take care of any issues that might arise.
Okay. You see that Carlisle takes the money and he goes to the front door where there, you know, there's a little welcome mat and such under there, and it's you know, very kind of like worn down and stuff. But he lifts up the welcome mat and retrieves a set of keys and puts the money under the welcome mat as well. And he gets the keys for the boat there, and he begins leading you all onto the vehicle and such. There are two sort of long seats where 2 to 3 people could sit, and then there's the seat at the back where the driver would sit a little bit raised up, where they would start the airboat and they would pilot it as well. So who is sitting where is my question.
In the middle, far away from the water.
So Sakura in the back seat.
Far away from the edge as possible.
I also joined the where the Toreadors are sitting because I am a Toreador.
I mean, of course, that's without question.
There's no question at all where the Toreadors are. So I will follow where the Toreadors are sitting because I am a Toreador.
All right, so Sakura and Michaela are in the back seat, and there is enough space for another person to join them in the back seat.
I would sit in the back, just because if they're sitting in the back, I'm presuming it's the safest spot, hopefully. So he's going.
All right.
So he's going to take that logic and sit there too.
So Andre and Quinn and our friend Kenny are in the front. Excellent.
Kenny is willing to sit by the edge and let someone else have a middle seat, which is marginally safer, I would imagine.
Very good. All right. You all pile onto the airboat, and Carlisle unlocks something, and then he begins to pull the ripcord, and eventually you hear the characteristic of the fan boat going, and he says, as he begins to steer the craft out onto the waters, and he says, once we head to a certain point, we will need to go in on foot. As you can tell, this is quite loud. So, and he is basically yelling when he says this, but I'm not going to do that because, you know, I'm in a room and I have neighbors and who wants to hear somebody yelling. But he is basically, you know, yelling when he says this. So when all of you speak, you would probably need to do it quite loudly to each other. So he begins driving you out. The night tonight is fairly clear. There are a few clouds in the sky, not too many. Once you get past the lights of the city, there it is very dark here, and occasionally you can see the stars up ahead. You are traveling for around, let's say, 30 or 40 minutes, and aside from the ever-present hum of the fan boat, you know, if that wasn't there, it would be dead quiet. Why don't everyone go ahead and make a wits and awareness roll for me, please?
Yeah, your baby boy will definitely be doing heightened senses in full effect the minute that he got on this boat. So, just
What are you heightening?
probably will be eyesight because that fan is so loud. It's not
Yeah,
gonna help
yeah.
at all. He has the intelligence. He's not. Unfortunately, I'm playing an actual intelligent character. So.
I'll also set up my sense the unseen and, you know, pull that up.
So Sakura and Michaela, you can go ahead and roll that sense the unseen. And
That's a messy crit.
a messy crit. All right, we will come to that in a second.
Ooh, okay.
Six successes with a messy crit.
6 with a messy crit. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that because that was also a messy crit. I ain't time for that. Wait, what? Really? Yeah. Yeah, that was a 7 with the messy crit. I literally used willpower to re-roll that 0, and I still got that 0. Oh boy. Okay.
Oh no.
Well.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do now. There's nothing I can do now.
All right.
Critical 6, not messy.
Okay.
Kenny got 1 success, which sounds bad until you realize that he's at 3 hunger, had 1 black die, and I re-rolled it from a failure to a success with 1 black die in order to avoid a bestial failure.
What is with these rolls? What is with these
50%.
rolls?
50% shot, and we avoided
We almost
it.
had a bestial and 2 messy crits. Oh my god.
That's great.
I'm gonna go ahead and take out my pocket blood bag and start drinking that.
It's the vampire equivalent of pocket bacon. You know?
I have
Yeah,
4.
I'm-
Go ahead, sorry.
Wait. I was gonna say I'm gonna use my good old Gokanda movement because I can tell that the hunger is causing me some issues. So I'm going to use satisfy the hunger to reduce my hunger by 1 level to bring it back down to 1 since we didn't get the chance to eat.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So, Andre and Michaela, you are noticing that as you are traveling out around in the bayou, there are the occasional night birds that make their way through the air, and there are bats. Definitely a hell of a lot of mosquitoes, and you do spot that there are occasionally some gators that are in the water. Michaela and Sakura, with your sense the unseen, at this point in time, you don't see too much except for Sakura. Sakura.
Oh,
You-
I do have. Sorry, I wasn't able to tell you. I had 5 successes.
5
with,
successes.
1 crit. I don't know if that matters.
Okay. It's if you get two zeros, then it counts as 4 successes. And so also you need to take into account whether or not you get a crit on your blood dice. So because that can change it and give you like a messy crit like what Sakura and Sora have, which we'll do. I know it's difficult for you right now on the digital dice.
I don't know. I could just choose randomly which one. No, it's fine. They're all like I don't think I got them. It's fine.
Okay, all right. So, Michaela, you do notice this as well, that there are some of the occasional gators that you see that are giving off a very interesting resonance or sparkly aura. And Sakura, you actually find yourself climbing up onto the bow of the boat, the front there, and you were staring intently at these gators, the ones that have this aura on them of it is a similar but different-ish aura to what you notice on Carlisle, but it is shining intently to you and brightly. You were focused there, and you're wanting to get like closer to that because it is so pretty and so vibrant and so interesting. So you all witness that that Sakura is beginning to sort of like clamber her way forward and wanting to almost go into the water. Sora, at the same time, with your heightened senses and with the messy crit, you are very, very keenly aware of all of the insects out here. There are just so many insects. There are mosquitoes that are flitting about, and they are not drawn to you guys per se because, they being kindred, they're not really that interested in you. But you are finding yourself intensely focused on some of these insects, and you see that one is flying relatively close to one side of the boat, and you are starting to like try and reach for them and squash them in your hands as fast as you can. And both Sakura and Sora are beginning to destabilize the stability of this boat, and Sakura is about 2 seconds from clambering off of the boat into the water after these glowing gators.
I will grab Sora because he is young, and I feel like he would be the lighter one, while I request help from somebody in front and be like, "Hey, can you please like help me with this too? They're gonna go off board, please."
You manage to, Michaela manages to get hold of Sora, and Sora, you are, as I said, intensely focused on these bugs right now.
Mosquitoes everywhere. Oh, I think. Oh, wait.
I pinched Sora.
No. Ooh. Huh? Oh.
I pinched Sora hard.
Why? Ow. What did I do? I'm sorry.
Pay attention to my face.
Okay. You're right next to me. I have no choice but to pay attention to your face. You're
Look at
literally
my face.
two inches in front of me. Wait, what happened?
Can I pinch Sakura now?
Sakura is she has literally like clambered over the front seat in between Kenny and Andre as she is going forward, and she is looking towards these things, and she's getting very close to getting over the edge of the boat.
So as Sakura kind of starts climbing over us, Andre is actually going to go ahead and blood surge, and then forcibly restrain them for a moment.
All right, very
And I got a success on the rouse.
very good. All right, so you can roll your we'll make the strength and brawl, I guess, just to sort of like hold her.
All right, we got 3 successes.
All right, Sakura, you can also make a strength brawl roll.
This is gonna go great. This is all I'm rolling. Success. One success.
One success. All right, you are still very fixated, but Andre does have a hold of you, and he is sort of holding you tight.
They're so pretty. I want to go touch the pretty gators.
I assure you, you don't.
But they're so pretty.
Pretty to watch, not touch.
I won't know until I touch it.
Carlisle does pipe in and say, please stay on the boat. You don't want to touch the gators. Believe me.
Yeah, you get your clothes wet.
They're sparkling. I'm wearing a raincoat. They're sparkly.
But then it still might go through the raincoat. It only helps the rain. It doesn't help an entire river.
But they're so pretty.
I reach out to pinch Sakura.
Does it help?
Does it?
It takes a bit. It takes a bit after Andre holding Sakura tight, and Sora it helped relatively quickly. But yeah, after a few moments, you do sort of like calm down. But
Yeah, Sora doesn't like pain at all. So that was like, what? You pinching me? What?
after a few moments, it does help. You
Pinch saved the
She
day.
will compose herself and just point out that the gators are very sparkly.
I'll take a look. Do they seem like, 'cause, I'm as Mowgli as you can get in terms of like animal kin. Do they seem like natural? Do they seem like natural crocodiles, or do they give off like a unique flair?
give me one moment. I'll tell you what's wrong.
Okay.
Andre will go ahead and release his hold on Sakura.
Very good.
Composure has finally settled in.
You can make a wits and animal kin.
Perfect. Crocodiles are not herbivores, right?
Not at all.
Yeah. Okay. Can't use the specialty. All right. Good to know. Let's see. This is pretty good. Okay. And now I got my hunger down, because I was like, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to surge too, just to stay safe.
All right.
Cool. I don't get hungry. All right. And what? 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes. What you can judge from this is that, yes, they do look like regular gators would, but the ones that Sakura has pointed out, and Michaela saw that they're sparkly as well through the Sense the Unseen side, they are a lot larger than the largest gator you have ever seen. There are 2 that you can see. They look normal, but they are a lot larger.
What did they eat? I mean, it's like a McDonald's for crocodiles. It doesn't make any sense. Like, they're so huge.
Sakura
Yeah,
will
those are-
text the group chat that they're glowing similarly to Carlisle, who she pointed out lit up like a firework earlier.
Oh, they're not normal.
Carlisle says, shapeshifters. This is
Like
the
you, but like with crocodiles?
yes. They patrol this land. Be respectful.
Perhaps oogling them is not the appropriate way to be respectful, and he'll just sort of eye all of the people that are looking over the edge.
Agreed. I thought they were just animals, but then I noticed how big they were, and I was like, wait, that's different. So you just he just sits back into his seat, and then you can just see you kind of like hug Ragatha a little closer, like, "Will you save her?" I think.
Very
I
good.
say admiring beauty is pretty respectful.
Mm. Many shifters are known to be hostile to your kind.
And to have a bit different of an idea of what it means to be beautiful, Miss Sakura.
All right. You all continue along your track through the bayou, and the boat takes a few winding routes into different sort of outlets and different sort of side streams, and it is getting to a point where it is quite narrow as far as the width of the river goes, and you can see that there is in the distance there is a very old and decrepit looking jetty that is just out there in the bayou, where there is a bit more of dry land and such. And Carla points to it and he says, "That is our stopping point. From here, we go in on foot." He pulls up the airboat and shuts down. The fans eventually stop whirring, and he sort of hops off onto the jetty, and it gives this creak where his feet land on it, and you can tell that it's a delicate operation to sort of get onto this thing without it falling to pieces, but he does tie up the boat and offers a hand to help you all get off onto the dock.
Well, that wasn't so bad. I don't think. Wait, I have a question. If there's were crocodiles, is there also were mosquitoes?
Dear God, I hope not.
That would be terrifying.
Jumanji.
But Gaia works in strange ways.
Who's Gaia?
Another time.
Okay. It'll start watching.
Alright. So you all make your way onto this, I wouldn't exactly call it dry land, but it's drier than, drier than some of the rest. You are walking through some mud, and it is a little bit squelchy, a little bit sticky. The air is, as I said, filled with insects and the sounds of night animals. The trees and woods here are relatively dense. Eventually, you do find your way onto what seems to be a bit more of a dry patch after tracking through the swamplands for around about, let's say, 30 to 40 minutes. You spot in the distance there appears to be a very large old manor house of some sort. It looks as if it's seen better days. A lot of the boards are falling off of it. You can see that the waters have encroached upon some of the dry land that would be there, and part of the structure is busy leaning into the swamp that is reclaiming it very slowly. You are relatively far from it at this point in time. You're close enough to see it, but you haven't come upon it just yet. Carlyle says, "This is where I wait. What is there is where you will find your man."
Well, I understand that, Mr. Carlyle. I will just thank you for taking us thus far.
I will be here when you are ready to return. But I have no desire, particularly, to enter the house.
Well, stay safe. Well, if they got crocodiles here, who knows what else they might have here.
Many things.
Andre will begin approaching the house.
All right. You see that Carlisle
After up.
fades from view.
Oh yeah, they're visible. Wait,
Yeah,
don't leave me behind. And you see me kind of like follow suit.
Are you all beginning to approach the house? Excellent. You make your way towards the house, and you can see that there are remnants of other old buildings that seem to be on this property. They have long since fallen to wreck and ruin. The house looks as if at some stage was very, very beautiful, and it seems to have, before rising water levels, have contained a fairly decent plot of land, a couple of acres at least, before the swamp reclaimed a lot of it. At this point in time, the structure, as I mentioned, is very dilapidated. It is not really possible to get in by a sort of front entrance if you want to, because that section is covered by a lot of water. But if you would all like to go ahead and let's make this wits and awareness, just to see if you can find a decent entry into the house.
Three successes.
2 successes.
I roused, I passed, and 3 successes.
Four successes.
Two successes.
2 successes.
All right, like child or like sire, it seems. Sora and those of you that got 3 successes, Sora got 4. You are having a look around the property as such, and you do see that the back entrance itself is also kind of ruined and not really possible to get in. But you do see that there is a smallish, but large enough for a person. It looks to be an old cellar window that you could climb into the house at the bottom.
I will
Andre
point
will-
it out and yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna see if I can get in with my cast grace.
You can get in, and it is exceptionally dark in there. You do have Sense the Unseen up, yes. Do you have heightened senses at all?
I do. I will use that with my eyesight.
All right, that does help quite a bit. So it is exceptionally dark in there, but you can, sort of make out some shapes and things in your general sort of surroundings. But you crawl through this window and you find yourself gracefully, because of Cat's grace, plopping down into about waist-high swamp water.
Oh, she went
Instant
first.
regret. Instant.
Yep.
Instant
Yeah.
regret.
Yep. Oh, it's like the Toreador's going first in this nasty location. Okay, good luck. Going up
Probably the best, because if she knew, she probably would not have followed. So
Oh
probably
yeah, that's true.
safest.
That is true. That is true. Do
Sakura,
you say anything?
you are, at this point in time, definitely under the effects of your clan Bane.
Bane. Ooh.
Fun.
This place is
How does
nasty.
that-
This place is nasty. You have I believe it's just a penalty on dice. It's like a 1 dot penalty on dice because this place is nasty.
I thought it was 2, right? Isn't it?
2?
From the errata. That's why you get 2 dots for blood surge, but you also get 2 dots.
Thank you,
for
thank
the,
you. All right, yeah. So 2 dot penalty on dice.
Yeah, for social, all social roles.
For all
You
social
be
roles.
surrounded.
Yeah. So social rolls. All right. So Sakura, you
Yes.
plop into this water. Splash.
I will just call up. It's all good. Come on in.
Michaela
Andre
doesn't
will,
see anything.
Go
So
ahead.
she just so Michaela doesn't see anything, sees the Toreador jump in, figures it's fine for another Toreador to jump in. She also jumps in and she realizes, oh no. She doesn't get
Do you have cat's grace?
I do not.
You kind of like belly flop in just a little bit. You are soaked through, Michaela. Your hair is wet. It's not a good day.
Well, as an actual Toreador, this might be a bad thing.
Michaela, I didn't know you were gonna come in first, or I would have warned you.
I am in shock of this terrible thing that is surrounding me right now. I am in pain. Ouch.
I'll help her up and help wipe her up.
Andre.
Andre is as the 2 Toreador go crawling into the window there. He's gonna kind of shake his head slightly. A look of displeasure actually crosses his face, and he just quietly under his breath says, "Thou shalt honor each other's house, thou shalt honor each other's domain. It is not right of us to intrude in this manner. We should try to get the owner's attention."
Can't do that if we don't go in.
Andre is going to go ahead and kneel down. He'll pull the pane shut again and rap soundly on it to send a noise out throughout the domicile.
All right.
Oh, gotcha.
You send you knock on the
Shut
wood.
the door.
You,
Enjoy that swamp water. Enjoy that swamp water.
Have you lost the corridors in the swamp?
Yeah.
They're like soaking wet. Brrr.
Andre, you rap on the wood, and you can tell that this wood is, pretty like damp soaked. It is moldy. It's not very good. It doesn't make a super loud sound, but it does make a sound. But just because of the sheer, age of this or whatever. But you rap on the wood a little bit, and wait a while, and there doesn't seem to be any response at this point in time. Michaela and Sakura, Sakura, with your heightened senses up, you can see that there are a set of like rickety, kind of messed up stairs, half broken, half rotted away, that you could sort of clamber up and get into the door that exits this cellar if you want to. Michaela, you can see fuck all.
Yes.
Sakura, it will guide her to the stairs and not go up, just get out of the muck.
Okay. And what are the rest of you doing while all of this is going on?
Well, go ahead, Zach. I saw you go off mute.
People just jumped into a bunch of muck water. Am I aware of this?
Yes.
Yeah, we all saw it. We all saw it.
No
Well,
one
not.
said
I don't think we.
anything.
Is there Well, I assumed there was some sort of a splash.
There
Waist
was.
high.
Yeah, we would have
Yeah,
heard. We would have heard
yeah.
the splash.
You heard the
Big
splash.
You know what I mean?
Is there like a window up on the next floor up?
There is a window up on the next floor up.
How high up would you say it is from the cellar area we're walking into to the next floor?
Just over 3 feet, like say around 4 feet.
Gonna soaring leap up to it.
Okay. You can make a dex just to sort of like catch yourself, right? You can make a dexterity and athletics, I guess, or brawl if you really want to, because technically you are using your hands. So
Like athletics.
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to rouse Dex.
Okay.
Why do I do this? Wait. Five successes.
Yeah, you managed to catch on one of the pieces of wood that you jump onto next of it. Does sort of break off a little bit in your hands, but you definitely move over to the side, and the window itself has long been broken, and you are able to see into a room inside, which looks to be a very old bedroom.
If there is anyone present, I do believe my companion has asked that we announce ourselves. And then he'll go looking around for where the entrance from the cellar is.
Are you going into that room? Are you
No. But they're climbing up from somewhere, and I jumped up like right next to it. So he's gonna try to go find where it leads out at.
Okay, so you're going, like, because the cellar stairs, jeez, would open up into the house itself. So if you wanted to go find where that door would lead to, you'd have to go into the room and then into the house.
Actually, I stand corrected. Kenny will get to, will probably get to the edge, and then drop back down. I need to ask a clarifying question.
Yes.
Is this a deeded property that is owned by a mortal? Or owned by any sort of registered identity?
It has been a very long time since anyone has been able to claim such rights on this piece of property.
So then I will leave it to the storyteller's discretion. Does the folkloric block uninvited prevent him from moving into this particular abode?
I would say no.
Okay, so he'll kind of teeter on the edge then, like, okay, interesting, and he'll kind of make his way through over to the cellar.
Excellent.
Stairs, as I said earlier.
Andre, Sora, and Quinn. You are still outside. Kenny has made his way inside, and Michaela and Sakura are beginning to try and make their way out of the cellar. The three of you hear wisps of slight feminine laughter sort of echoing, and out of the corner of your eye you see near the other side of the building, sort of on the, because if this is the back, it would be the you're facing the front, it would be the right side of the building. So now you're facing the back, so it would be the left side of the building. You see a figure sort of dart around the corner.
Andre will begin casually walking in that direction.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I'm gonna go investigate that.
Okay.
Try and catching my eye.
Kenny, the room that you have entered into, it seems at one stage to have been perhaps a child's room or a nursery of some such. There are old children's side beds and some very, very old discarded toys, a rotten rocking horse that is there, and the door is sort of stands ajar. You have to walk pretty gingerly on some of the floorboards, as it is very easy to sort of fall through, but you come out into a hallway, and you make your way to where you imagine that a door to the cellar would be.
He'll say, this is just me re-announcing my presence. If there happens to be anyone in the area, and then he'll poke the door open.
Sakura and Michaela, the door opens and you see there's your friend Kenny.
Splashed some water at him, some swamp water at him.
Rapid reflexes, dodge of the way.
Michaela is just sort of like still like flap, like not really flapping, but just sort of like, you know how after you finish washing your hands, you sort of like flick your hand, but like with her whole arms is what she's doing. Just like she doesn't care who it's getting on. She's just like that, doing that
Kitty.
to get as much water. Yeah.
After is pouting.
With her whole arm. That's what she's doing. She looks ridiculous, is what I'm saying.
Are you staying in the cellar?
Sakura will immediately go up because she thought everyone was gonna follow, and they did not.
All right. So the three of you climb out of the two of you climb out of the cellar, and Kenny is standing there as well. And you three inside the building also hear a slight feminine laughter, and just around the corner, you see a flitting shape disappear around the corner. Sora and Andre and Quinn, following the shape around the corner, you do see that eventually there is a side entrance that is in the house, which is connected to a bit of a side porch that is not, not all the way complete anymore. On English this morning, a part of it has collapsed, but it is still possible to get into the side porch, and there's a side entrance, and the door seems to be open.
Andre will go ahead and walk up and, again, rap gently on the frame.
Not the chamber door.
Hello? Is anyone here? We just want to talk. We're not bad people, please.
I don't know if we should leave them.
The three of you hear whispered voices that seem to be close to your ear. It seems to be almost like a discordant chorus of two different voices. Don't be shy, don't be shy, don't be shy.
Parano boy spider senses is tingling. I'm like, he's gonna look at the others to see how they handle it. See if this is normal or not normal. Andre?
Andre is going to go ahead and just step into the threshold now at this point.
Yes! Yo goes YOLO all day, every day. Okay, I guess we're going inside. And then, and then he'll walk in.
Meanwhile, inside, Michaela and Sakura and Kenny, you have seen this, you heard this laughter and this figure sort of whispered around the edge. What are you doing?
Switching to sense the unseen from my heightened senses.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
One, two, three, four, five.
5 successes. You can definitely see faint traces in the air after images of something that was in that general direction. Kenny, there's something, it's like an odd smell in the air, aside from the smells that you would imagine from a rotting house and swamp water, etc. But the smell is, it's difficult to place. It's like dried leaves. It's like the smell of absence. It is like a smell of a little bit like arsenic.
Can he follow it? Like, is it pungent enough that he could try to actually trace where it's coming from?
You can make a wits and awareness roll for me. Go ahead and add your oblivion dice to that.
Three successes.
3 successes. It permeates a lot of the house, and it takes you just a little bit of time, but this is a smell that you would heavily associate with a heavy presence of oblivion in the area.
Well, Miss Sakura, Miss Michaela, I am a bit less amused. Hello, we have announced our presence. It would be impolite to continue these games at this point.
The 3 of you hear also a set of discordant whispers in your ears. Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that?
There can be a lot of fun in polite conversation, depending on what might be being discussed.
You hear echoing laughter again. Meanwhile, Sora and Quinn and Andre, you've stepped into the house. At this point, I would like everyone to go ahead and make me a composure and resolve roll, please. And if anybody has unswayable mind, you can go ahead and add that in.
Ain't no brain tricks or the paranoid dude, because you're already paranoid enough to begin with. All right, that's cool.
Composure and what?
Composure and resolve.
Perfect. This is probably my best die pool. with the swayable mind concept. No trickery.
I have a 5 successes.
5 successes.
I spent a willpower to reroll and got 3.
Okay.
2 successes.
2 successes. All right.
Wait, I think I'm
Went ahead and spent a willpower. We got 7 successes with a crit.
okay. All right, we got a crit there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 successes with a crit.
All right. Very good.
7 successes with a messy critical.
Mm.
Oh,
We gotta get
oh
you some
no.
food. We gotta
All
get you
right.
some food. How you get composure resolve and get a messy crit? That's just like an oxymoron.
It means that you're keeping calm, but the beast got something to say about it.
Sora, what was that amount of
the
yours
oblivion.
again?
Mine was 9 with a crit.
Okay, and Andre was?
7 with a crit.
Okay. And Kevin was also 7 with crit. Excellent.
7 with messy. Yep.
All right. Sora
Mhm.
and Kenny, from your perspective, Sakura and Michaela. I mean, Sora, from your perspective, it is Andre and Quinn. From Kenny's perspective, it is Sakura and Michaela. The 4 of them stop moving, almost like statues.
Well,
Andre
that's-
and Quinn and Sakura and Michaela. The 4 of you find yourself alone. Each of you separate. You are in what appears to be this house, but you're in a different location than you were before. There are rows and rows and rows of doors which lead off of this hallway to the front and to the back of you. You see nobody else around.
Cool.
Wait, I thought Andre had 7 with a crit, right?
He did.
Wow. He got okay.
For those of you who are wanting the roll here, I rolled 8 with the crit.
Okay, heavy duty. Sora's gonna like look around. Wait, did I have to make it for Ragatha or Ragatha's perfectly fine?
You can make it for Agatha as well.
Okay. I mean, I don't think she can slamble mine, so I mean.
Probably not.
Yeah, I was like, her stats is nowhere near as good as that. Okay. There's no way. 8 with a crit. There's no way for her to make it unless she gets like 2 crits.
I mean, you never know, right?
We'll see. The power of Christ compels you. I mean, it wasn't even that bad. But it's 3 successes. There's no way.
Yeah, no. Ragatha is also, trapped inside her own little puppy hallway.
Oh no, I don't have my guard dog. Okay, so Sora's already started like, Andre. And he's like started like poking their arms to see if they're like moving. Like, can you feel this? Hello, are you there? Hello, housekeeping. I'm here to fluff pillows. Are you there?
There is no response from Andre.
Quinn just kind of looks over at him like,
Quinn, how much did you roll?
I had 2 successes.
Oh no, Quinn, you're in the same hallway thing. You are also
okay.
unresponsive. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What happened?
Kenny, you can hear the voice of Sora a ways away from you on a different side of the house.
But I don't hear anyone else.
No, not at this point in time. But
He
you
doesn't
do.
want to leave his frozen companions to go find Sora at the moment.
Okay.
So he would just call out, well, now I do hope you aren't wanting me to misunderstand your games as an intention of attack.
Do I hear that?
You do.
Oh crap. Well, at least I know Kenny is here, but he's like attack. That's already red flag. Okay, go ahead.
Kenny, you hear It's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game. Michaela, you're in this hallway. You're all alone. What would you like to do?
Michaela's gonna open the first door.
You
With
open
her
the door.
I mean, with her sense the unseen up, I don't know if it'll make any difference because she's in her own head. But she opens the door.
You open the door, and you step
First door.
You step through it into a hallway that extends back and forward with lots and lots of doors on every side of the hallway.
All right. Basically, what Michaela's gonna be doing is she is going to be going through whatever random door. She just be like, "All right, cool. I guess this is what we'll be doing for a while." Just to see if anything changes.
Each and every single doorway that you open, and it's the same for the four of you that are trapped in this thing, lead into a hallway with an infinite number of doors in them.
Andre's actually not opening any doors.
All right, very good.
He kind of looks around and just disappointing. And he has a seat on the floor.
Very good.
Sakura would open a few doors, start singing the Scooby-Doo theme song, and then have a seat.
Very good.
After what seems like for her about 30 minutes of doing this, she's not very smart. So she goes around and then she's like, well, I'm tired now. So she just stands there.
Very good.
Since we are playing a game, when do I get the opportunity to call time out so that we might have our conversation?
You see, while you are waiting there, out of one of the side doors, there apparate two women. One of them is around 5'6", and she has blonde hair, and she seems to be dressed in a white sort of almost like flowing sundress, but it seems also stained and dirty, and you can see that she has blood on the corners of her mouth. The other woman is around she's a bit taller. She's around 5'10", and she has brown hair, and it is sort of like styled up in a bun, and she is wearing more of a blue outfit, and you can see that she also has she appears not very clean as far as it goes. She's quite dirty, and both of them, yes.
Do they appear to have corporal or incorporeal forms?
That's a very good question. Well, you witness them going through a door.
Like, as when you say through a door, you do not mean a doorway. You mean through a door.
I mean through a door. They
Well, that question is answered then. Thank you.
Yeah, they begin sort of laughing and moving their way towards you, and then you hear a voice ring out. Enough. That is not how we treat our guests. And that is where we will end our session for today.
Everything's fine.
Everything's
As
fine.
always, everything's fine. You left the most paranoid dude all by himself. Remind me his adult. Oh no, things was about to go downhill quick. He was like, I'm swimming through the water. I'm going to swim through the water.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us on episode 3 of Blood on the Bayou. I hope you enjoyed the slightly spookier vibe that I was going for this evening. Or this afternoon for you guys, and this morning for me. Either way. As always, thank you to all my amazing players. And for those of you that have given us a follow during this feed, thank you so much. It is always very, very much appreciated. And for any that might be watching this on YouTube when I do eventually upload the VOD, thank you very much for your subscriptions and leave some comments and such. And I want to go ahead and give a little bit of a slight little surprise, something that I would like to do here. If you are enjoying what you hear, we're having a little contest at the moment for the month of May with all of our RPG shows. What you can do is go ahead and leave a comment on any of the YouTube videos with your name or the name of a character or a person, and at the end of the month, you know, if you tweet out the episode on Twitter with the hashtag Blood on the Bayou, or if you are watching this on one of the D&D streams, you can tweet out with the hashtag Knights of Thala, and what we'll do is we will draw 10 people to become NPCs in our campaign. So you can get yourself into our campaign. So all you need to do is give us a watch and share our stuff on Twitter. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and be good to each other. Bye-bye.